Hello, I'm LaDawn Blackett-Jones here with my partner Myesha Good, and together we make up PolitaCoach LLC. And today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the biggest mistakes we see on campaigns and with candidates throughout. We recently went to some candidate forums and we saw a few things that we thought you might want to know not to do.
Exactly. So, for instance, why do candidates feel that they can run the campaigns by themselves? Went to a recent forum, and the candidate was literally advancing the place by himself, putting out signs, and managing the entire thing, and was seriously stressed out. That is a complete no-no.
You gotta have a campaign manager to run your race, or a campaign team of some sort. The candidate should always just be the candidate. They should be able to get out their car, take a deep breath, and be prepared to meet people to explain why they're the best candidate. If you have to remember to bring the flyers, all of the signs, set up the table, getting there on time, leaving on time, you won't be able to put your best foot forward.
And you'll be a sweaty hot mess by the end. And you would not look polished.
And when people come up to shake your hand, they're like, what was wrong with that person? Because they look very unorganized and unsure of themselves.
Exactly.
And who wants to vote for a candidate who can't get people to support and help them on a day-to-day basis? Because that's what's necessary to be an elected official.
If your friends and family don't support you, that's a big sign that you may not want to run for office. And we see all the time when candidates fundraise that a lot of their families and friends won't support them. They would not give them a dime. What does that mean? It means that you may not want to run. Very important. And use a fundraise for your race. And
absolutely. And so one of the things that I learned, and that's another big mistake that candidates make, most of us who want to run for public office cannot self-finance their campaign, right? So you have to be prepared to, yes, put your own skin in the game by donating to your campaign. You're going to do that anyway. But I see many candidates who try to run their campaign either off of their own money or they try to fundraise on their own. So I knew well enough that I was not going to sit down on my own for 3 to 4 hours a day, which is required in order to call people to ask for money. Why? Because asking for money feels horrible. But if you're going to have a winning race, you have to have a campaign budget, and you have to raise the money to fulfill that budget.
And candidates don't like to fundraise at all. They feel like they're asking for something that is horrible, and it's not. You're making history in your community or in your district or in your state. So you have to look at it in a way that is winning for not only the donor, but it's winning for you too. And you have to speak like that. You have to speak with that confidence and not with fear. You're not asking somebody to pay your car note. You're asking somebody to help you win a race. So that's very important, that candidates get out of the fear of asking.
And why do you need money? One of the other big mistakes that we saw recently, horrible presentation. Candidates that have a middle school trifold board with their picture stapled to it and pasted to it, unfortunately, it just did not represent well. In 2019, 2020, getting printers online or around the corner at FedEx or Kinko's, it's so easy, but it takes money. And so if you want to put your best foot forward, you need to be prepared to pay for professional graphic design, professionally printed flyers and materials and poster boards, step and repeats, whatever it is. Now, although you want to raise money in order to do those things, the other biggest problem I see candidates do is that they waste money. What is one of the first things candidates always want to go out and buy when they're running for office?
Billboards.
Billboards! People like to see their face on a big old $1,500 billboard.
And then most times it's in districts, it's in a place when it's not in your own district. You have not targeted the area. People could care less about a billboard, but people do care, honestly. If you knock on their door and ask for their vote, or if you pick up the phone and call them and ask for their vote, billboards do not win. Hey, it's cute and nice. Glad to see your face, but at the end of the day, it does not help you win.
And that's not to say that you can never, ever get a billboard, but it falls way down there on the priority list after you've raised money and you're trying to maybe distinguish yourself from the other candidates. Certainly not the first thing that you want to buy. You know, one of the other big problems that I see with candidates running is that they don't know what they're running for. So they may be running for a local seat and they say, I want to address education. But that's not done as the county sheriff.
Right, yeah. So this is very important that you attend those community meetings those government meetings so that you can know if you're running for city council, what does a city council member do? Go to the local board relations office, ask for this job description of some sort, or meet with a city government official or a politician so that you can understand what are you running for. If you've never attended a meeting before, never done anything in the community, why are you running for that seat? And those is when you have to do an internal self-check, because a lot of times it could just be for the power or just to have your name on the ballot. But people are looking for folks that are really sincere and can really do the job and be ready on day one and not figuring out everything. Because if you cannot articulate your message while you out talking to a voter, that's a serious problem.
So listen, running for office, I truly believe, should be a thing that people do as a part of their service, people who care about their community. And so you don't have to be an expert or a professional. You don't have to plan to run for office and be there for 100 years and retire as your career. But if you're going to run, you have to run prepared. And campaigning is a science. And with that science, if you have the right ingredients and the right formula and you put them together, you can win even on your first time running for office. But in order to do that, you have to try to avoid some of the pitfalls and mistakes that come along. And that's where we come into place. PolitaCoach has over 30 years of experience helping candidates run for office and train for office. And so if you want someone that can help guide you through that process, then you definitely should check us out and go to PolitaCoach.com so that you can learn more.
Yes. So LaDawn, I think this is some great feedback to share with our listeners. But I do want to say that do the work first. Do the work in your community first. A lot of times you see people jump on the ballot and never done anything in their community. And granted, some people do win that way. But at the end of the day, it's just not. A lot of people don't think it's tasteful, or people don't think that it's the best thing to do because they've never seen your face. So again, consider that, and please visit us at PolitaCoach.com.
If you have any questions or you have any concerns about what should you avoid doing, you can also go over to our Facebook page at PolitaCoach or catch us on Instagram at PolitaCoach and ask us whatever questions you may have so that we can maybe help you avoid some of those big mistakes that lots of candidates make.